We say there is one God. We believe or whatever.
Who says?
Okay. But when you see the manifestations, you have the polarities, bipolar, positive, negative, man, woman. So why that is singular and this is bipolar? Isn't that a confusion, source of confusion actually? That is one question. Second is we always…
Handle one, this is not a simple question. See, your question is not a simple question, you're questioning the basis of the existence.
No, I won't understand.
Yes, that's fine, but how can you have one more question? You can't have one more question because that question is questioning the very basis of the existence, isn't it? Now, there is a duality. Only because there is duality, there is possibility of life as you know it. You and me, life and death, man and woman, day and night. Please see, they are not opposites, they are complementary to each other. If there was no night, would you know what is a day? Would you know? Would you know? No. If there was no woman, would you know what is a man? No. If there was no death, would you know what is life? No. So your very perception of one has only come because of the other, isn't it? Because right now, your very perception is limited to sense perception, and sense perception perceives everything only by comparison. And what you perceive in comparison is not perception, it's a distortion of reality. Right now, let's say you're 6 feet tall and now you think like a tall person, you walk like a tall person, you feel like a tall person, you are a tall person. You went to another society where everybody's 8 feet tall. Suddenly you think like a short person, feel like a short person, walk like a short person, you are a short person, isn't it? So what you perceive in comparison is not perception, it's a distortion of reality. So what you perceive as duality is a complete distortion of reality. Now, when we say reality, there is an immediate reality and there is an ultimate reality. In the immediate reality, without duality, there is no function. Only because there is duality, there is life. In the ultimate possibility, there is no duality. Everything comes from one, becomes two, but it's always rooted in one. Now, when you have played around sufficiently with the duality, you've enjoyed it, but at the same time you have seen the limitation of it, then you want to know what is beyond this duality. That is the search for spiritual knowing. Not because you're frustrated. If you're frustrated, you cannot seek spirituality. Only if your experience of life has become beautiful. You have experienced creation as a wonderful possibility, now you want to know who the hell created this. Yes? You saw a piece of artwork, no good stuff. Do you want to know who the artist is? No. You saw a piece of work, absolutely fascinating. Now you want to know who created this, isn't it? If you experience this existence as something truly fantastic, now you want to know who the hell created this whole thing. Right now you hate the man who is next to you, why do you want to meet his creator? Isn't it? If you hate this one, do you want to meet the one who created this? You don't want to have anything to do with him, isn't it? Yes or no? Yes. So, your talk about God will mean something only if your experience of life becomes blissful. Your experience of life has become blissful. You're enjoying the existence so much. Now you really want to know what is the source of this existence. Till then, God is just a meaningless word. You're talking God because of fear, because of greed, because of guilt. It doesn't mean anything. Just a psychological process. Existentially doesn't mean anything. nor can you approach it in any sense. You can just believe and hallucinate. You cannot approach it in any sense. Only when your experience of life has become so blissful. Now you really want to know what is the source of this blissful existence. What is the source of such a fantastic existence? Now you will naturally move towards the artist who created the artwork, isn't it? Otherwise, do you want to go and meet him? When you experience life as a horror, do you want to meet the man who created this horror? Definitely not, isn't it? So if you want to experience the fantastic nature of the existence, you must respond in a limitless way. Only then you perceive and experience the beauty of the existence. Right now, you're just responding only to your husband, only to your wife, maybe you experience life as horror. I'm sorry. They're not juxtaposed against each other. They are very much in tune.
Can one achieve or experience the same blissfulness when duality has its popularity?
Duality is constantly subject to change. Yes? No, that's fine. Is duality constantly subject to change? Yes or no? What is life will become death. What is day will become night. What is spring will become autumn, isn't it? If you have this, that is bound to be there. So once you're in duality, you cannot maintain a constant level of experience. You can live in duality, but if you're rooted in that which is beyond duality, then you can play with the duality whichever way you want. If your rooting itself is in duality, if your experience is limited to the duality, then you are subject to the changes that the duality naturally goes through. If your whole experience of life is limited to the physical is a product of the duality, isn't it? Yes? The physical is a product of duality. If your whole experience of life is limited to the physical, whatever changes the physical goes through, your experience also goes through, isn't it? Your body is feeling good and healthy right now, and life is working out well around you right now, you're very happy. Suddenly your body is feeling terrible, you're no more happy. Life situations around you are not working out the way you think they should, you're no more happy, isn't it? Any amount of philosophies, it doesn't matter what kind of philosophy you develop, it doesn't matter, everything is the way it should be, it's God's will, you tell what you want, but your face is becoming long, isn't it? Yes or no? You tell yourself all kinds of lies to solace yourself, but still your face is becoming long, joyless, isn't it so? It will become, because once your experience of life is limited to the duality, whatever changes duality is subject to, your experience also is subject to the same changes. Now, when we talk about spiritual process, inner engineering, we're talking about Shambhavi Mahamudra, the idea is to give you a taste of that which is beyond duality. If a little bit of you at least is in constant touch with a dimension which is beyond the dual, you will see whatever changes happen on the level of the duality, their rooting is somewhere else, you are still nourished with your blissfulness, that the external changes cannot take it away from you anymore.